The ancient path is for men that can sit with him. The first agenda in the heart of God is not for us to be running up and down to look for which ministry to do. It's not for us to be running up and down to look for which crusade to organize. The first thing in this ancient path are for men that must sit with the master. A man that has no sitting place with God have no place in the ancient path. Because the ancient path is a path of men that God will use to bring glory to a generation. So when Jesus called his disciples, I thought he would call them to set down on an errand. He said, sit with me. Do you know how many years they sat? They were there for how many years? 3.5 years. How can a whole Jesus keep men for such a long period of time? Because he knew that what these men need, their first ministry, is to sit. And we saw that in the book of 1 Samuel. In 1 Samuel chapter 2, the Bible says when Samuel came to Shiloh, in 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 18, when Samuel came to Shiloh, already Shiloh was in the state of anarchy because the presence of God had departed from Shiloh. So at the time that Samuel came to Shiloh, it was the time that iniquity had infiltrated the house of God. Right in the temple, the sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, right in the temple, they were sleeping with women in the temple. So already there was an infiltration in the temple of God. It was at that point that the young child Samuel came. When Samuel came to the temple, I thought someone would start looking for how to serve Hophni and Phinehas, how to begin to render service. But hear what the Bible says. When Samuel came to the temple, the first thing he did, in 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 18, read for us quickly. Look at what the first Samuel did. Because as we end this conference, we are ending on the note that the ancient path is not a running path. Look at what Samuel did. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 18. But Samuel ministered before the Lord, being a child. With a lying effort. That was his garment. That was his garment. Samuel ministered before the Lord. Can I ask you a question? In that congregation where Samuel ministered, who are the audience? The audience of that congregation are the seven spirits of God. Samuel was not trying to struggle pulpit with Hophni and Phinehas. Samuel was not trying to struggle sacrifice with Hophni and Phinehas. Why Hophni and Phinehas are busy with activity and with iniquity, Samuel will stay by the altar where the ark of the Lord is. He will stay there in the place of prayer. As he prayed, the Bible says he ministered before the Lord. While Samuel was in that position, his audience were the seven spirits of God, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of might, the spirit of understanding. The seven spirits of God were his first audience. And when God wanted to speak to the house of Israel, he did not go to look for men that were doing activity. He came straight to a boy that had understood the place of waiting, a place of sitting. As we conclude this conference tonight, one of the things that God is instructing us, that the ancient path is a path for men that can wait. It's the path of men that can sit with the master. Because until you receive the glory, you must not move. And that is why when Jesus finished his ministry, in the book of Acts chapter 1 verse 4, hear what the Bible says. Acts chapter 1 verse 4. I thought after 3.5 years, he will set them on motion. But Acts 1 verse 4, look at what the Bible says. Hear what the Bible says quickly. Someone read for us quickly. Acts chapter 1 verse 4. Because in this ancient part, we are not to be a runner. No.
Acts 1 verse 4. And being assembled together with them, he commanded them not to depart from Jerusalem, but to wait for the promise of the Father.
The ancient path is a path for men that can wait, not men that can run. As we are concluding this conference today, the ancient path is not for the runner. It's for men that can sit with Jesus. The men of old, their ministry is not measured by the activities they carry out. Their ministry is measured by the dimension of the presence of God they carry. There is something about God's presence. The presence of God cannot be carried from activity. The presence of God can only be carried as we stay, as we sit. Listen, a man that have no sitting with God have no standing with God. How do you want to have a stand with God when you have no seat with the Lord? Men that have a seat with God, they are men that have a stand with God. A generation that is so excited about activity. If you say let's go for crusade or let's go and do something somewhere for God, you see men running there, but they have no seats with God. No wonder there is no glory. Are you not aware? The reason why a lot is happening to us as believers in Nigeria is because